just a little bit longer because is traffic crazy?
Yeah.
Geez, man, when that school starts, I think that everybody starts to go to work again too. Like, right? The kids are out of the house, so I'm going back to work because traffic is crazy. So Paul Baker's got an announcement from the board.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Paul, you remind us every time you speak.
I know it, and I'm always asking for money.
Gee, and good timing because Children's Miracle Network is here today.
Hey, good. Two things on the SAR calendar. October 3rd, a Wednesday, is Rockin' for Ray-Pac over at Live and Local. And it's a fun event, and that's your $50 toward your annual Ray-Pac donation, so it's a good thing to do. See a lot of your friends and colleagues. And then what I'm passionate about, as you may or may not know, I'm the co-chair right now of the Hutch Fund. And our Hutch Fund fall event is December 6th at the Comedy Club over on High Street. Tickets are cheap, it's $35. It'll be a night of laughs to raise money for the Hutch Fund. So put those two things on your calendar if you can.
October, hey, if you guys haven't been to that comedy club, guys, really support it. It's a hoot.
Yep.
I mean, it's good times. Thanks,
John.
Paul. So, Paul, what is your current board seat there? Like, what's your current position?
I'm in my first year of a 2-year term on the board. And encourage anyone that has a passion about it to get on to the application to run for the board. The elections come up here next month. And as far as vice president, president-elect, treasurer, those positions are voted on internally by the current 12 board members. So I hope to move up the ladder in a year and move up the table, but that's to be determined.
Thanks for sharing that.
All right, thanks.
Paul.
And then,
All right.
hey, isn't one of our agents, Antonio,
Antonio
running
is for
for?
the Parma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have two.
Antonio's on the ballot for Armos board.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody should have received an email from me with the link.
All right, what's going on at REMAX? September 28th, Friday, we'll have our birthday Friday as usual in the main building. We'll be catering in what? What are we catering in?
Corner Bakery.
What?
Corner Bakery.
Corner Bakery? Okay, sandwiches?
Sandwiches.
All right. We acquired a new office in Chandler. Yeah, it's done. Well, it's close to done. Done enough to where I can officially announce it, right?
The only thing we're
Ge-
waiting for is International to sign their name. And
Yeah, all right. So Gina McKinney. No, but they did. The disclosure's already been out.
Everything's been done.
Oh, we are missing one more crucial signature. Gina McKinney down at REMAX Masters has decided to fold into our firm. I think they got like 8 agents. They were down there struggling a little bit. So this is fascinating, right? In order for the REMAX model to even start to break even, you need about 22 agents, right? And they've always been at 8, so she was taking her commissions and kind of supplementing the deal. So she folded into REMAX Fine Property. So we're happy to have her. Gina, if you're watching, thank you. We're really looking forward to the relationship. We're hoping you'll be able to make our next meeting. Why? It just says, hope you'll make our next meeting. Oh, we hope that they will be able to make their next meeting, so that they'll be here, so that we can. There's 2 bullet points there, by the way. Yeah.
2340 West Ray Road. It's right there at 101 and Ray.
So just for the record, see how he's got 2, 3 bullet points there? That should be a comma. So anyway, they hope that they'll be at the next meeting. I'm like, who's going to be at our next meeting? All right. So hey. What else is going on at REMAX? So here is, how many of you guys read the Riz Media or Real Estate Riz Media? Riz Media? Res Media? Pretty good stuff in here. So REMAX is featured in it. I'm going to read a couple of quotes and then I'm going to turn it back over to Greg. And then I got some great stuff for you because we thought that the city of Scottsdale wasn't going to be here today, but Ben did a quick turnaround, so we really appreciate that. But I thought I was going to have to speak for 30 minutes. So you guys got some big stuff coming here at the end of the meeting, and I mean some big stuff because all night last night I was pacing. How am I going to engage the best agents in the industry for 30 minutes? It cost me a night's sleep. So I got some really good stuff coming for you guys at the end. No, but this is really good.
You'd have just made some cold calls.
This is really good. All right, ready. In short, the revolutionary brand continues to lead the way. Nobody in the world, and you guys need to know this, right? Nobody in the world sells more real estate in residential transactions than RE/MAX. Okay?
Right.
Nobody, not even close. We sell a house every 30 seconds. All right? Our average agent production is 16.8. So when you take, even in our firm, we call licensed assistants 9 times out of 10, there's a few exceptions, a sales associate, right? Licensed. So if I do 7 deals and I have a licensed associate, really that's 3.5 if my licensed associate, but my licensed associate's helping me. I'm not demeaning that at all, but you get, we have a lot of big teams and assistants, right? 16.8 deals on average. Ours is even higher than that. Where's ours?
17.2.
17. So RE/MAX is 17.2, but 16.8. Do you know where the nearest competitor is after us? 7 transactions lower. 7 transactions lower. So we do 9, from an industry standpoint, you take the average agent, we do 950% more than the average agent out there, 950% more. So those are good stats that I thought you guys should know. And then I got great stuff coming at the end of the meeting. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of information in 10 minutes.
Everybody knows how fast he talks, so that shouldn't be an issue. So, and then right after the meeting, we're going to have Dell in the owner's corner again, like we used to do a number of years ago. He's going to be in a small section for about 10-15 minutes, and then Shannon Quigliotta is going to be back in the back section talking about her program that she's getting ready to roll out to RE/MAX Fine Properties at the beginning of this next month. So we're very fortunate to have Ben Moriarty. He is from the Planning and Development Program or Department there in the city of Scottsdale. So we're going to have him start off. It's going to be more of an interaction. So if you have any questions, please do. So I get the first question. Yeah, ready? Go ahead and start. If you want to introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
thanks for having me. Jesus Murillo, who has been to these before, had a family emergency and he said, Ben, I need you. And I said, okay, he'll come. I've done 1 or 2 of these before, not for RE/MAX, I don't believe, but I really appreciate the opportunity because we often hear from your clients and they use your name in vain. So, some of my favorites are, nothing's ever going to be built there. You don't have to worry about that. So then they come to us and they're like, why is something being built there? And then another good one is, I'm sure it's grandfathered. Yeah, that term is nowhere in our zoning ordinance. And another good one is, they shouldn't be able to go 2 stories there. My realtor told me. I'm like, I know, but here's your section of the code that applies to all your neighbors and you. You could go 2 stories if you wanted. So it's great to get some of those misconceptions out of the way, have a conversation, but also provide services. We have our one-stop shop downtown where you could walk in anytime with your client and we could answer questions there. We have a phone number you could call, and there's about a baker's dozen of us planners that pull from that queue to respond to your messages. And also you could email. You could email the bulk of us and we could pull from that as well. So that's just a brief intro. I put the general contact card and then my personal contact card on the table just in case I don't get a chance to talk to you. It is encouraging that I do see some familiar faces from those services. Some people that have come down to the counter to get a permit even. So Greg, thanks for having me. I know you had a couple questions.
So
Unfortunately,
the biggest question
yeah.
that we have is what are some of the newer developments that we're going to be seeing so we can actually kind of educate our clients? So is there anything that's going on that's really going to be like one of those wow type of things?
Yeah, and you touched on a couple others that I'm not the personal coordinator for.
Okay.
But I'll try to give a brief, trend or picture of it.
Perfect.
There's a lot of activity in downtown. We saw a rise of a lot of condominium and apartment complexes, a lot of bedrooms being created in the downtown area and the citywide. That I would include Sky Song, which is south of downtown. They continue to build. They're currently constructing that leads me to the next trend. We're seeing a lot of hotels that are coming in for entitlements and design review. I think there's probably a handful alone in the downtown area and maybe 2 or 3 along that 101 corridor up here. Greg, you had mentioned what's happening at Cracker Jacks. And that project is called La Villa. And it just came in for its second round of reviews. So the first round of reviews, staff reviewed it and gave them a comment letter saying these are the things that we need to see changed or consider this. And now they just resubmitted on Friday, and that's going to be a big project. Talking to the coordinator in brief, I think they're proposing 136 feet in height at that Cracker Jacks project. It's going to be a mixed-use project of a hotel, residence, office, and a little bit of retail. So that's what they're proposing. And what the process looks like is in the second round of reviews, staff gives their comments again. If there is comments, otherwise they schedule it to hearing, which would be Planning Commission for recommendation to Council. Council would make the ultimate decision on rezoning that property. Once it is rezoned, yeah.
So when you say 136 feet, how big is the 2 Optimum or 3 Optimum towers that are going up right now?
Across the street,
Yeah.
That's another great realtor misconception. That's Phoenix, and I don't know the height. But I imagine that it's going to be very similar to what
Stories.
that's 12 stories
Yeah, I
across
was
the
gonna say,
street.
how many stories per?
Yeah, so it's probably right around there. A story is generally anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
Scottsdale usually don't allow that. Scottsdale usually don't allow that height, except downtown.
Yeah, Scottsdale has traditionally liked low scale,
36 feet.
low density.
Usually 3 stories and that's it, right?
Right, so that's why it's going
And
to
if
be
you want 4 stories, you gotta go beneath the ground.
that's why it's going to be a big decision for council, because there's council, I think, still has a tough debate between height, density, and then also low scale development. So another one that Greg mentioned is what's happening up here around Scottsdale and Mayo. And a big project that we could see down the pike is Nationwide headquarters. So in Tempe, I don't know if you followed that project, the State Farm headquarters, that was a big boon for Tempe. It also affected South Scottsdale because where do you house all those employees? So we saw a lot of that economic pressure come into Scottsdale just to house the employees of State Farm, which is great. You had a question?
Is Taser relocating to a big development in South Scottsdale? Is that what I've heard?
I don't know off the top of my head where Taser's going.
Axon. It would be also known as Axon.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Yeah. But with Nationwide, the press release, I think, mentioned that there's going to be 2,200 employees at the headquarters initially, and then hoping to grow to 3,000 employees. And that's right around the 101 in Hayden. So again, they're going to need to go through the design review for their building, but that's going to be a large campus for Nationwide headquarters. So that'll be a big boon for Scottsdale. Yeah.
So as you're looking at this and you say, okay, we have another 2,200 to 3,000 employees, then we've got the 101 and we have these interchanges that aren't really good for traffic, especially at Pima, the interchange that's not good, and I know that's ADOT, but do the planning people really think about those things?
Yeah, we do. So that's the short answer. Yeah, we think about it.
Doesn't seem like it.
Oh, well, thank you. We actually work with our transportation planners upstairs. So they have their own transportation plan, and our transportation department works with ADOT. I know that it's been highlighted that the 101 in Bell was an issue, and they're trying to resolve some of those issues with future capital projects from ADOT that would then lead into Scottsdale, obviously.
Yeah, because the other thing that I see too often, and especially we saw it downtown, is that you let the buildings come so close that you only have a sidewalk. And there's no room for expansion for traffic. There's just none because you guys have them take up these properties right up almost to the street. And so there's no way to expand. And so our congestion's just getting worse. And the other issue I have with Heights and with some of the construction you're allowing, you're removing all the views. All the views are just like disappearing. And not only you, but the Indian reservation is doing the same thing, and Phoenix is doing the same thing. And that was part of the beauty why people came here, besides the weather. I mean, that was part of the beauty of why people came here, and it's disappearing.
Yeah, we hear those arguments regularly.
But does anybody care? Because I don't think anybody cares.
We care what's in our ordinance. We're reviewing every case against our ordinance and design guidelines. And when someone's asking for something outside of that, it is a big deal. And during our report, we'll say we do not support this because it doesn't fit this piece of our ordinance. But then it goes before our planning commission and council. So your comments do matter. All your comments get attached to reports. Council gets to see those. Council gets to hear comments if you come to the meetings. So it is a big deal, and we do listen, and we try to respond to every comment.
Well, Ben, and I'm gonna have your back on that. It's an absolute fact. So you call them, did you say revisions?
Comment letters
when
to
somebody, when somebody
developers?
comes to you and says, here's the project, you go back to them, what did you call that word?
Comments in
Okay.
a comment letter, maybe.
Right. Are they also known as red lines?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So we call them red lines,
Yeah.
right? When you turn in a paper, an essay, and it comes back, what is supposed to be with and who is, the English paper, right? And then you got the big fat D. That's what it's like. And I'm telling you right now, if you haven't been through that with the city of Scottsdale, put on your seatbelt. They're not looking for high density stuff. I mean, they do have your protection in mind on traffic patterns and employment and where's the nearest hub to support these families, right? Transportation, I mean, they're all over. It's tough.
Yeah, we try to work with everyone reasonably. So whether that be the developer or the neighbor, we're going to respond in a responsive manner.
So if somebody wants to get more involved, that way they can actually give the comments, give their concerns, what's the best way that they can go about that?
Sure.
Look at the hearing.
Yeah, going to the hearing does impact the case, and the board does take that into consideration. Most of these are online. You could just go and you could even submit your comment at the case info. So if you were on our website, scottsdaleaz.gov, we have a huge search bar. It's ridiculously big, so you might miss it. For La Villa, that's the one at Cracker Jacks, the case number is, what did I write down here? 20ZN 2017. So you could either search that and see if it comes up, or you could just search case info and you could see what cases are active. You could search the cases, you could write comments in there, you could reach out to the coordinator, you could reach out to the applicant if you have a question for the applicant. So we try to make it easy, but if you have any questions on that, you could also just call our general office, and likely the coordinator is going to get back to you within a couple of days. But thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You've probably been asked this a million times. There's a vacant building at the corner of 101 and Frank Lloyd Wright.
That was my question.
That is, I get asked that a lot as a realtor from people in my neighborhood and that kind of thing, and somebody posted something on nextdoor.com and said, does anybody know what that was? And it just
I'll
exploded.
tell you
There were
what it
like
is.
300 comments, and everybody had something different from, it was gonna be a strip
Strip
club
club.
to it's gonna be a live
Oh,
music
yeah, okay.
venue
I've heard some of
to-
those.
All you have to do is
Yeah.
come in my
So-
office.
So, do we have any idea at this point?
We reviewed it, and it's built. I mean, it's there
Right.
for a restaurant.
101
And-
restaurant.
Yeah, we had to review it both ways, essentially. We had to say, hey, this is not a strip club, it's not going to be a strip club.
They could have live
Probably.
entertainment. They could have apply for live entertainment, but adult entertainment is.
That's
separate.
completely different.
So they were
Yeah.
trying to build it, start as a restaurant, and then smooth themselves into
That's
it.
not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
So we still don't know.
it's a restaurant, but it's not open.
Okay.
They never called me back.
But they never opened.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna.
Somebody's gonna.
It's a
pay for
vacant
it.
building. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
me too.
Yeah. You had a question?
corner of 94th
It's a restaurant with
Street
tapas.
They just put in a land there for
Live entertainment.
Our meeting
Understand that they're building 21 homes, starting in 85, but you happen to know who the builder is.
I don't know the builder on that subdivision. Sorry.
It'll be Cachet. Cachet or one of those. The one that built on Hayden and McCormick Ranch? Yeah, it is.
Question in the back.
Yeah, so,
How do you know?
I know that you work closely with the state for land parcels that they own in terms of bringing valuation up. Are we looking at a 5 or 6 year North Scottsdale, some of the larger parcels that may or may not be also interested by the preserve? I guess really, I think the biggest parcels are probably between Scottsdale and Pima. And is anybody anticipating another large master plan community up there?
That's a tough question because my experience with the state is they take a long time to do anything.
I know that they've done the initial like 5-10 year proposals and they're waiting until they anticipate a certain valuation for
Right.
those areas.
And I think it took 10, 15 years just to get to that. But that's one of those questions, like nothing's ever going to be built there. The state could tomorrow decide to sell everything. We don't know.
I think that's why you're going to start seeing a lot more vertical development in areas around Kierland and Old Town and this corridor around along the 101.
Right. Before the Great Recession, probably in 2006, 2007, it was projected Scottsdale would be built out by 2020. So that was the rate we were going, you know.
We have 2 years to go.
Yeah, right. That was the rate we were going about 12 years ago. Obviously, the Great Recession changed that outlook. It's probably closer to, 2050. But nonetheless, you're right. There's only so much land left, and our state is very development driven. You guys know that there's a lot of land transactions and there's a lot of construction, and that's where a lot of revenue comes from for our state in general. And this is me probably talking out of turn, but I think the trend for more development will only lead to the proposals that we have to review that are larger and more dense. And we joke in the office, there's no easy properties anymore. There's always, all the easy ones gobbled up and built something. Now there's washes that go through properties, and now there's boulders that we have to kind of get an easement around to make sure we protect the land. There's remnant parcels from subdivisions that said this is not a part of us, but then someone buys a remnant parcel that has no frontage. So there's a lot of planning issues that we have to work with. So I think development is just going to keep going, and it's going to be gobbling up the remnant parcels and the tough pieces, but then there's going to be a lot of redevelopment. I think the focus of redevelopment would be in downtown Scottsdale. But as you can see, up Scottsdale Road, on Scottsdale side and Phoenix side, there's a lot of speculation along those pieces because those are older pieces of property. Yep.
What is anything proposed? I thought there was some big project going in on the northwest corner of Dynamite and Pima.
Right. I think I know the one, the Outpost.
Yeah.
That was a big deal as well. There's no easy ones. That was a rezoning and a general plan amendment for an energy station, and it was going to be a mix of uses, particularly a gas station and. Yes, you like that? That's the way he was trying to sell it to us. He said, "This is a gas station." Don't be blinded, council. This is a gas station.
You sound like an Exxon executive.
We're saving the world with our energy. But I don't think the developer has moved on it since he got the initial entitlements. It's not an easy piece of property, and there was a lot of stipulations that we attached to that approval that he agreed to upon approval, but he would need to do a lot of work to make sure that development looks and feels sensitive to that environment up there.
I have heard that Pinnacle Peak Road is now the center of Scottsdale Road. Is that correct?
The geographical center of the city of Scottsdale is Pinnacle Peak and Pima.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I've always said you feel like you're in the northeast valley, but it's really the center. It's kind of fascinating.
Yeah, I had some friends that grew up around Scottsdale and Shea, and they always thought that they were in North Scottsdale. Not anymore. Yeah, Desert Mountain goes way far north, and when I first started with the city about 10 years ago, my favorite phone call was from a sweet old lady that got really worked up about a gold mine. It's like, they're mining for gold! It's shaking my house! How can they do that? It's a residential neighborhood! Ah! And I laughed. I'm like, that must be ridiculous. They're probably building a house, and there's a gold mine in Desert Mountain that they mine about every 10 years just to keep their mineral rights going up there. I haven't been. I'm sure it's privately secured really well. Yeah.
What about the land that is either on the reservation right there by Talking Bend, Talking Stick, north of McDonald and east of or west of the 101, east of Pima, where the auto mall is, that whole area there by Old Town?
Yeah, similar to Kierland being in Phoenix, that's SRP MIC property. So we don't really.
So you have no approval process?
No, the most that they will give us is some improvement plans for like Pima, because we own half that street. And so they'll let us take a look, and we give them a staff decision if there's any comments. They could choose to accept them or not, but we'd say, hey, normally we ask for, in this type of environment, an 8-foot sidewalk. You might consider putting an 8-foot sidewalk in. They might take it or leave it. But all that is SRP MIC, and we're continuing to have conversations with them more on the side of economic development than planning. But yeah, you might foster a relationship over there if you want more information from that community.
Right, and so to talk about that, like they have the one-stop shop on Indian School and 70th Street.
Yeah, Drinkwater.
South Side, Drinkwater, okay. Very easy to get in and out of. You pull a tab, and it's amazing what you can find out about any parcel from a city. Are those guys city planners? What are they?
No, I get to sit up there this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll tell you the setbacks. They'll tell you if I'm going to build a house on there, sometimes the city will make you, let's say it's raw land, the city will make you put in like a 4-inch water pipe, and they do a circular motion around it, or make you build it to the other end of the property so that another neighbor would have access to it. So it can be complicated, but these guys make your life easy. In the city of Phoenix, it's at like Broadway and 7th Street south of the airport. Who's been down to the city of Phoenix? And they're what? Is it Broadway? You know where I'm talking about. It's like south of I-10.
It's right by Dodge Theater, isn't it? City Hall.
Oh, is it downtown? Or is
Yeah.
it? Okay, my bad. I thought it was
You
south
might
of
be thinking
there.
of Maricopa County there.
Okay.
They're on the
But
south
every
side of the tracks.
municipality, guys, is here, or city is here to help you. They make your life easier. And you need to go down there, because if you're going to talk as an expert about a certain parcel or an area, you better know.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great plug.
All right, any last questions? All right, Scott.
Do you have maps with a general plan? What, for Scottsdale?
Yeah, definitely. Not with me, but
No, but-
on our website, yeah. Quick search, general plan. You'd be looking for your land use map from the general plan. And that's going to be general.
Just really great. Just a positive feedback. You guys have great information on your website, and I go to it all the time, look at it. So that's definitely appreciated.
Great. Yeah, there's
I'm
almost
on a
too
number-
much sometimes, but
I'm on
yeah.
a list.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, any last questions?
Thanks, Ben.
All right, well, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Ben.
Yeah,
We
thanks.
appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
New agents, Ninos, stand up, introduce yourself. Not new to real estate, but new to Remax Fine Properties.
Right.
And so give us your 30-second elevator spiel.
Well, my name is Dinos Malki. I've been doing this since 2000, actually. Glad to join Remax Fine Properties, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you guys. I can already tell we have a beautiful family here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Welcome. So when I was sitting down with Ninos, he goes, knee nose, right? Ninos. And he goes, I met a guy, and he goes, Tony. So that was classic, man. That was really good. Gabe Petratus, brand new agent, new licensee. Tell them about you.
Hello everybody, I finally got my license after a long delay, and I am working with Patrick McCabe, who got us a unique opportunity at OnCube Biltmore, located off 24th and Camelback. It's a new build community. The developers are Family Development based out of California, and yeah, they're great units. We actually are offering a $500 incentive to any agent that brings a buyer before 12/31/18, so before New Year's Eve. If you bring a buyer and we close escrow before that date, you'll get an additional $500 on top of the 3%.
So you have some immediate move-ins then?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, come check them out. 24th and Camelback in the Biltmore area. So.
All right.
What are the price ranges?
They start at $399,000 to $625,000.
Okay, so you can pass those out at the
Yeah,
end
if
of
you
each.
want to, look at this information, come see me. I'll be on this side of the room after the meeting.
All right, now that he did that, Jack, I got to give you some love because you also sit a new home development. So one of the things that I think is fascinating about Phoenix, Scottsdale, guys, and you need to keep this on your revenue radar. If you go to other cities, Remax sits a lot of new home developments. You go into Seattle, there's like 25 of them, Remax agents sitting new home developments. It's the same thing as an open house, except it's brand new and it's new with warranties versus resale. But don't forget about that. So Jack, you got you and the Davis Driver and Driver team have a new home community. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Algia. I work with Davis Driver Group. We have one member who isn't here today, but we primarily work up north at Desert Mountain, and we have a new home development off of Pima and Stagecoach. It's a community of 8 homes, 2 of which are completed, and then there's also 3 homes that haven't been built yet. They're 4,000 to 5,000 square feet on about 2-acre lots. So you should come check them out. It's called Windmill, and our website's windmillscottsdale.com.
So guys, it's fascinating how much revenue there is in the business when you start talking about new builds, development, vertical on what Patrick and Gabe are doing. So it's unbelievable what's out there. If you guys don't know that, but you know somebody that is a developer, send it to these guys and take a referral fee. Right? I mean, you don't have, if it's not your skill set, a name and a number goes a long ways. All right, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. There are other companies that do represent builders.
Oh, yeah.
They're not, most of them aren't good. So they're looking for other groups to fill in and be competent and drive sales for them.
Right. Yeah, so we got it in-house. So, all right, Jennifer Jacobs. Is Jennifer here?
She's with the Matheson team.
Jennifer's not here. Okay, I was going to welcome her.
All right, perfect. So for about the last 6 to 8 months, I've been talking back and forth with Phoenix Children's Hospital, and we finally have the opportunity to have Wes Pogue, he's one of the members there, he's going to kind of talk to you a little bit about it and give you some information. And as you know, Remax International is behind a lot of the children's networks. So if you give them about 5-10 minutes, get some information, I think you'll really enjoy it. So Wes.
Thanks for having me. 5 or 10 minutes, okay. I'll go quick. I'll be here after the meeting if anybody wants to ask me any questions. But so Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, they've been a partner with Remax since 1992. They serve 170 children's hospitals around North America. They've raised over $150 million since 1992, which is awesome. Here locally, we've raised over $1 million here in the Phoenix area. So celebrating 26 years of giving hope and healing with Phoenix Children's Hospital, RE/MAX, and Children's Miracle Network. The past 26 years, a lot of things have changed at PCH. So we actually started in 1983. We were a hospital inside of a hospital, the Good Sam Hospital. In 2002, we moved into the building on the left there, and quickly realized that was way too small. We had patients that were, pretty much every room was shared. There was a curtain in between the patients. So in 2009, we broke ground on our 11-story patient tower. 2011, we opened the first and second floor. 2012, we opened up to the 8th floor. 9th, 10th, and 11th were shelled up for future expansion. Phoenix is one of those areas that's just continually growing. We are the 6th largest pediatric hospital in the country, but we have one of the largest pediatric populations in America. So we're constantly trying to keep up. 2020 was the year they thought they'd have to build up the 9th floor. We did that 2.5 years ago. So this is our new Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders. They have about 90 kids that go through that every day to get treatments. There was over 316 kids that were newly diagnosed last year. This year we're expecting 350, so that's like one a day. We just finished our new emergency department, opened in September of last year. Our old emergency department was designed to have 23,000 patient visits a year. We did over 86,000. So it's not that we don't have enough staff, we just didn't have enough space. So we opened this. It has 75 private exam rooms. They can see over 130,000 patients a year. On the second floor is our new Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders. Same thing. It's way too small of a clinic. And then our third floor is our new 16,000 square foot lab. They do over 4,000 blood and tissue samples a day. It's absolutely amazing. So our mission is we provide hope, healing, and the best health care for children and their families. So again, we're the 6th largest pediatric hospital, 433 licensed beds. That does not include exam rooms and stuff like that. We actually have 2 hospitals. So the big hospital that you see off of Thomas and 51, plus we're also in the Mercy Gilbert Medical Center. We have the pediatric wing there. We're actually building a new hospital with Mercy Gilbert. It's going to have a birthing unit as well as a new 60-bed NICU. That's one thing that we don't do in the hospital. We get a lot of kids that we know they're going to be transferred to us after they're born. There's a high risk in doing that, so now we're going to have Mercy Gilbert will handle the birthing, and then we'll have the NICU. We have 4 specialty and urgent cares around the state. We have one in Scottsdale. We have over 22 outpatient centers, 4,500 employees. We're the 23rd largest employer in Phoenix. And we have just as many volunteers, full-time, part-time volunteers. 88 different specialties of care. Last year we had 75, so we're just continuing to grow. We're actively seeking out the best doctors. We are already a destination hospital. We're on our way to being a world-known hospital. Over $10 million committed into research, and we have 400 active studies. So last year we saw over 150,000 unique patients from 46 different states, 12 different countries, 86,000 emergency visits, 2,600 trauma cases. Okay, we are the only level 1 pediatric trauma center in the entire state. We get kids that are lifted from all over the place. It's the busiest trauma center in the entire country. 17,000 surgical cases, 53,000 urgent care visits. So we have over 60 programs in the hospital that would not exist without philanthropy. We are a nonprofit hospital. A lot of these are not hospital necessities. We have child life specialists. If anybody knows what a child life specialist is, they are absolutely probably the most important people in a pediatric hospital. They're the ones that comfort children, get down at their level through play and distraction, and explain what's going to happen to them and eases their tension, as well as the parents. Meal assistance program, for families that can't afford to eat, we give them meal vouchers. Camp, we have a camp for kids that are going through cancer. It's the first week of August. It's up in Prescott. The kids can go up there. The whole medical staff goes with them. They can be a kid. Right? These kids are really sick. Again, no charge to them. The Emily Center is a large pediatric medical library. We have our own school. It's the One Cool Darn School, or the One Darn Cool School. It was named by the kids. It's a K through 12th grade school. They have 7 full-time teachers that have their masters in special education. They see about 16,000 students a year. You think about it, kids are there for a real long time. We don't want them falling behind in their schoolwork. Charitable care. So we do about over $45 million a year in charitable care. We would not be able to do any of this without the entire community coming and supporting us. So thank you for everything that you guys do. You know, everything from, we have mobile units that go into downtown kids, you know, underprivileged kids that we give free healthcare to. So just a little thing, I always have people ask me, well, I donate $25, I donate $100, what does that go to? So I mean, if you think about it, a kid has an accident, they're coming to the hospital, they don't have a toothbrush, or maybe family needs diapers, or they need, you know, a thermometer, a wheelchair. So it's more than just building buildings and keeping up. We do a lot of stuff at the hospital. But you know, part of that $45 million of charitable care, you know, injection costs us $34, strep throat test, $83. So I have a video. It's a video that actually Nate Martinez made for us last year. It was for our 25th anniversary. It kind of explains the Miracle Home program if you guys are not familiar with it. If you make a donation of $25 or more on a house closing, it will actually create this honor card that will be sent to your client, whether the buyer or the seller. It's a nice touch point. It sets you guys, you know, definitely apart from the rest. But go ahead and play the video.
Hi, I'm Nate Martinez with RE/MAX Professionals. So 25 years ago, I attended my first RE/MAX convention. At that time, they announced the new partnership with the Children's Miracle Network. So in the listening appointment, sometimes the seller asks me, what's a miracle home? I jokingly say it's a miracle by selling your house. But really, I get down and tell them what the miracle program is about. When you have a closing, the Children's Hospital will send out an honor card in your name, basically telling your client that you donated in their name. So you're making a donation in your client's name. Think about when the client opens this up a couple weeks after closing, they didn't know anything about it, and they see the miracle honor card, and they read through a story of a young child and their challenges. It does set us apart. You know, it's I call leading the heart. One thing I have found that just about every seller I have is known somebody that's been treated by a children's hospital somewhere in North America. So when they hear about the program, they're touched. I would even say that I probably even won a listing because of the program. One of the other things is when we have the sign on the house, people, when they call off the sign, ask what a miracle home is. It's again another way to talk about the program that we have with the Children's Hospital. It's a very easy program to get involved with. All you have to do is designate how much money you want to donate from each commission check.
Log into your remax.net account and go to the main street. And then once you get there, you will click on the Max Center button. And it will take you to this menu. And you'll see the Children's Miracle Network right there, and double click on that. And it will take you to this dashboard, and you simply need to go to the Create an Honor card up in the right-hand corner. And it will ask you who you're creating the honor card for. For myself, you simply go and put in the amount that you would like to donate, type in your client's name, add their address, and down here you have several options. You can create your own custom message right there, or they have a couple that have already made for you, and you pick the appropriate one, whether it's a buyer or seller. I like the You've Made a Miracle one. And then it allows you to review the card. And you'll see there's the amount, there's your client, there's the actual message. The card will look like that, and you simply submit it. There you go, and you're done.
Many things that we've done over the years is many years ago, before I was an owner, we started the Children's Miracle Network golf tournament. It's a very successful event that we did for many years. Later on, we got involved with motorcycle riding. My partner Frank and I had Harleys, and we decided to put together a run for the miracle. We had hundreds of motorcycles riding from Glendale all the way to Tempe to an event where we raised money for the hospital. August is the month of miracles, so the last few years we put together a fundraiser to raise 1 million pennies for the hospital. It's been a fun event, and each office has a competition to see who can raise the most pennies. So we'll be looking forward to doing that again this August as well. So today I want to challenge you to get involved in the program. Just get with your broker, decide on how much money that you want to donate from each one of your closings, and let the process begin. If you have any questions about the program and how RE/MAX has raised over $170 million for hospitals across North America, please give me a call. I'd love to help you implement this in your office.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah, so I know there's probably a lot of you that didn't know about this program, because things changed, especially after the Great Recession. We used to raise about $240,000 a year here in Arizona. We're building that back up. We hit $104,000 last year, so every year we're getting more and more people on board. Honestly, if you are not promoting yourself, that if you are not using our logo, you can use our Phoenix Children's Hospital logo on all of your literature on your website. If you're not promoting yourself that you are doing this and giving back, you're really doing a disservice to yourself. RE/MAX is the only real estate CMN partner. Okay. I have agents all the time that call me and say, "Hey, I want to donate to the hospital." I go, "That's great," and they go, "Can we use your logo?" No, sorry, you can't. We're very protective of our logo, just like RE/MAX is very protective of their logo. If you want to use our logo, you have to be a sponsor of one of our programs. Sponsorship levels start at $5,000. So if you're willing to do that, sure. You guys don't have to do that. Okay, through the CMN contract, you guys can use our logo. You put it on all of your literature. To be a miracle agent, designated miracle agent, you have to do $500 in a calendar year. To be a miracle office, you have to do $2,000. So I encourage, if you guys have any questions, I'll be here. And thank you for listening.
Thank you, Wes. All right. Because of all of our vendors, we're able to do this. I know I say this every single month, but if you have not used our vendors, please give them the opportunity, okay? If you already have somebody that is in your back pocket, you work with them on a daily basis, what happens if they're on vacation? What happens if they're sick and you need somebody else? Think about our vendors. We all know that everybody works with different people, so just try to use them. So we're going to start over here with Rebecca, and we're just going to go around the corner really quickly.
Good morning, Rebecca Niesling with Allstate Insurance. I have 2 agencies, one in Cave Creek, one in Carefree. I've got 8 licensed agents in my office. They are all fantastic and ready to help you and your clients with any insurance need you have. I also wanted to let you know I'm doing 2 financial seminars in October. So if anyone is interested, one is more of a demographic of like 35 to 55. It's growing your retirement dollars. It's going to be at Gordon Biersch, and it's a happy hour. And then one of them is protecting your retirement dollars. So it's more like, towards 55 and up. So anyway, if you're interested, grab the card. I'll send you the invite. Thanks.
Jill.
Good morning, everybody. Jill Bright, Chicago Title, all over the valley. I've been with Chicago for, I'm in year 16, I don't know, 16 or 17.
So you started right out of high school?
Totally. Training in the womb. I'll keep it short and sweet. I know you probably have seen the invite. We started a monthly McDowell Mountain Ranch tour. The first Saturday of every month. It's open to realtors and the public. We've been getting some great feedback on that. I know a lot of you come to our Bill Gray class every month. We are going to be doing the quadrennial in November. So be on the lookout for that if you have not taken that class.
Thank you. Sharon.
Good morning, everyone. Sharon Wolferman, AJF Engineering and Inspections. Great to see all of you. Thanks, as always, for the opportunity to work with you and your clients. For those of you who have gotten into pre-listing inspections, our big news is we got Recall Check, the company RWS, to now offer the warranties for pre-listings. And so they've added 120-day mechanical and structural versus 90 days. And everything, if the time isn't used up for all the different warranties, it does transfer to the buyer, and in particular is the 5-year roof leak protection plan. That's huge being in place. So if you have questions about it, just let me know. Happy to help any way we can. Thanks.
Thank you. Julie wasn't able to make it today, so we have Melissa Finelli.
Hey everybody, I'm filling in for Julie. I'm Melissa Finelli. I'm the branch manager, escrow officer at the Stewart Title office in your parking lot, so I'm just right across the way. Julie is out this morning with her sister recovering from some surgery. But just want to let you know, I'm right across your parking lot. We're doing a remodel, so stop by. I'll give you a tour of what we have planned. It started last night, so lots of dust for a little while, but hopefully the beginning of November it'll be done. Big new conference room and nice new facilities for you. I've got a great team in place. We'd be happy to help you with any title and escrow opportunities that you have. Thanks.
Thanks. Mary.
Good morning, Mary Williams, Lakeview Fidelity National Home Warranty. If you know who Jeff Raskin is, he goes by Mr. Tech. I'm sponsoring a class on Friday, so come see me if you want information. He's really great with MLS and a lot of the tools that you need to use. Thank you.
I know Deanne was here. Is she? Okay, she had to go. All right. We have CNN.
Hi, I'm Bethany. This is Jackie. We're with CNN Mortgage. We're going to do the spotlight vendor thing, so we'll kind of have some time to talk to you guys then.
Thanks. Jen.
Good morning, Jen Weller from Fidelity Title, and we have 3 sales execs throughout to choose from. Myself, Troy Peterson, and Rob Cannon. They had a breakfast this morning with our presidents. They're not here. I wasn't invited.
Well, we're the lucky ones.
But we have a lot happening tomorrow. We have a CE class at our Pinnacle Peak office. We have 3 Scottsdale offices, Pinnacle Peak, our Caroland office, and then Lincoln and Scottsdale Road. And tomorrow from 1 to 4, we have a CE class if you need general credits, protecting your transaction through financial literacy. And then also if anyone's going to the VA certification class, I don't know if you are, but there's 2. One's today. There's none in Scottsdale, I'm sorry. But it's a free class. You attend it for an hour and a half, and you get to use the VA certification logo. There's one in Glendale, right by the Cardinals Stadium, from 3:30 to 5. I'll be there today. And then tomorrow there's one in the Southeast Valley in Gilbert from, I believe, 10 to 11:30. If you're interested, come see me, and I can forward you the flyer so you guys can attend that.
I think we've sent it out.
Yep, perfect.
Great. Jason.
Jason Glassian, now with Mortgage Possible. Home Point closed down their retail division and we were acquired by SunWest Mortgage. So we are now doing business as Mortgage Possible. It's official as of last week. So look for some exciting news. We're going to have some good jumbo products coming in where our owners are going to do a risk share with Chase, which will allow us to write our own guidelines, which could possibly give us even better rates than Chase. So if you have any jumbo investor or buyers coming up, consider us.
Thanks, Jason. Karen.
Tara Carter, Old Republic Home Warranty. As you can see around this room that we have a passion to help you grow your business. So thank you to all of you that do take the time to use all of us. We appreciate that. I'm trying to help realtors really end the year strongly. So I am having a class on Thursday from 9 to 10:30, and it's about grading your database. The best place to get the business the quickest is from your database. So if you need help to find the gold in that database, reach out to me. The class is from 9 to 10:30, and it is free.
Our Spotlight Vendor of the Month is CNN. So just kind of a reminder why they're making their way up here. Our holiday party is the first Friday of December, so December 7th. Make sure you mark that on there. We're going to have it at the Greyhawk Golf Club, which is just right here between us and our office. So we have it there every single year. We've grown so dramatically over the last few years, we may be looking for a new location just because how wonderful you guys are, and then you start bringing in other agents that are just as good as you guys are. All right.
And for
you're
all
up.
the new agents
No.
that are here, come to the party. It's a wonderful party. Dell and the rest of the staff do an amazing job in saying thank you to us by celebrating this holiday and doing amazing things for us at the holiday party. So please come if you've never been to the party.
Yeah, thanks, Linda, for that.
Thanks.
It is a hoot, guys, and we changed the whole deal last year. I mean, we had a DJ.
We had a DJ, had the photo
there was
booth.
a photo booth, there was some dancing. So we're trying to keep it fresh, alive, invigorating. Willing to hear your comments on,
So if you have comments on the what you would like to see, try to give that to us as quickly after the next holiday party because we have to plan way in advance. So we've had the DJ, the photo booth, and the venue for over 6 months. So we need that feedback. So don't come to us next month and just say, hey, I got a great idea for the holiday party. It's just not going to happen this year. I hate to tell you, but we'll try to work with you. To kind of give you, sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to let you go. Just to let you kind of know, I had one of our vendors who, their company is probably, well, it's nationwide, I can tell you that. And they came to me and said that our holiday party was actually better than theirs. So if that kind of tells you what kind of event that we put on, we really want to say thank you to you guys. You're the one that actually make it happen, and we could never do anything without you. So
Well,
we
and I
appreciate
think
you.
we give, don't we give about
We give-
$10,000 worth of stuff away?
Roughly about that, yeah. Between
Yeah, so
eight,
let me-
but it depends on the year, but between 8 and 12.
Right, but let me advance on that, because we're a very methodical company. So let me tell you what we do, because I'm going to just take a moment there,
Yeah.
because you guys will look at it and say, well, $10,000, we don't, we look at that as an investment back in you guys, but let me tell you how we get it. RE/MAX came out with this program to where you can pay your RE/MAX bill on your credit card. So what I did is I went out and got like a
We have Chase.
$50,000 line of credit with Chase, and they have these awards deals. So what I do is every month I pay our RE/MAX bill, which is really your money, right? Because I just pass it on to them. Everybody knows how the RE/MAX model works. I pass it on to them, and then we take those reward bucks and give it back to you guys. So it's kind of, that's how we do it. So it's fun. It's it's a combination of drawings and maybe a couple of contests. We usually give out an R4, an invitation to R4.
Multiple TVs, big TVs,
Yeah,
laptops.
it's a hoot. Come on. Yeah, Leslie, if you want
Yeah.
to.
Got the big TV, so
You got the TV.
We stopped wrapping the smaller items because of Kenny Malik. He caught wrapping paper on fire a couple years ago, so we stopped wrapping everything.
Somebody knocked over, exploded.
Oh, I know who it was, right, Kenny? No.
Let's do it at Dell's house.
All right. So
Anyway, we also do, that's way different, we do a +1. We do a +1,
Right.
so bring your significant other, date, whatever.
Yep. All right. CNN, thank you.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody today? Good. So I'm Bethany with CNN. This is Jackie. We're both loan originators. I passed out some little flyers for you guys. These are in door hangers, so I know a lot of you folks go door knocking with your, if you have an open house or you want to announce your open house or a recently sold property, you go door knocking in that neighborhood. So we have the ability to do some co-branding with you guys on a program, a CRM we have called Total Expert. If you want to get a log-on for that, you can see either myself or Jackie. We can handle open house flyers. We can do co-branding on program flyers. We can do single property sites that you can post to your social media. That's got your branding on it. It informs you if a buyer comes and looks at that single property site. We'll post things on Facebook for you as well. We do the open house announcements through that as well. So if you guys want to look into any of those things,
yeah, just let us know. We got like thousands of these for you guys because at your last meeting we knew that these were important. So if you guys need them, just give us a couple like days, maybe on a Wednesday, you're going to do it over the weekend. Let us know. We'll get all of them together for you, drop them with you if you guys want us to work them with you or whatever. If you know you're going to do an open house and you want to go to 50 doors and let everyone know you're going to have the open house or, get the word out on social media, just let us know how we can help.
Yeah, so the reason why, so in business planning, I don't remember who had the question, but they'd never seen one of these before. So when you're out door knocking, this is called a leave behind, right? So if you're gonna hit the door, why not at the same time flip that on the door handle and split, right? It's called a leave behind. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so that is kind of cool because I don't know if you guys know, you're not allowed to put anything in the mailboxes.
Right.
So having something to go on the door, I've been places where you put it under the mat and who knows if those people ever see it, if it blows away. This is kind of an assurance that they're gonna get it and see it. So if you guys want us to do that, we can make the announcement flyers, we can make the just sold flyers for you, put some branding things in there. We do open house flyers, things like that in there. So if you guys need anything, just let us know. We can get that handled for you. Inside the little door hanger, we have some different programs that are kind of maybe unique to CNN Mortgage that I wanted to kind of highlight. We are going to have some questions at the end and the possibility to win these lovely prizes here. We have a golf bag. We have a kind of a golf theme bag and a wine theme bag here. So if you guys pay attention, at the end we'll have some questions for you. So the first one I wanted to go over was our Shop and Lock program. This is a really cool program because the interest rates are rising right now. So if you have a buyer that is concerned about the interest rates going up, we can lock their loan in for 90 days. We get all of their information. We get them pre-approved. They have 45 days to turn that pre-approval from a TBD to an actual property address. So they have 45 days to find a home, which kind of puts them on, in a little bit of a situation where they know they need to find something. So they have 45 days where their loan is locked. We then get the purchase contract, and then we have 45 days to close, so it's a 90-day lock. So it kind of assures them that they're going to be able to have that same interest rate. Their payment isn't going to fluctuate based on the market and what's going to happen. So they kind of have insurance there. So that one you can contact us for any information on that. We can also do flyers for that. We have a new jumbo financing program. We do as low as 5% down. This has no mortgage insurance, so if you have clients that are worried about paying the extra for the mortgage insurance, this is a great option for them. In the market, we have higher, the prices are going up, maybe somebody has a little bit less to put down. We have the option for them to come in with less money and be able to still get the home of their dreams. So definitely, it's a great program to run by your buyers. We also have, we also do mortgage insurance, obviously, on loans that under 20% down. We have a lot of flexible options for buyers. We can use closing costs to pay for mortgage insurance. We can split it so they would have to only pay, lower that rate per month, so they don't have to pay as much out of pocket every month for the mortgage insurance, so we can use closing costs to pay for that. We can pay one-time premium where they never have to pay mortgage insurance if they have less than 20% down. So that's always a nice option to see for your buyers. If you want them to have some flexible options, we can do different scenarios for them to see which, thing that they fall into. 80-10-10 is our last one. That is for buyers that maybe want to get an under jumbo. We can do a simultaneous close with as low as 10% down. They can come in with 10% down. We can do a second for 10%, and then there's going to be the 80% on the first mortgage. So that one is nice also if you have buyers that want to come in under jumbo financing. We can do up to, I think, $250 for the second mortgage. So if they have a little bit higher purchase price, they want to come in with extra money to get it into under the jumbo financing, because the guidelines are a little bit more strict on jumbo financing. We have that option available for them as well. So also the rates tend to be a little bit lower with conventional financing. So yeah.
I was gonna say, if you have any other questions, she has all the materials at the back.
I do.
Please come back and take a look at her, and then and the reason I'm sorry to kind of
That's okay.
cut you
I
off,
know.
but we've run a little bit long, so we want to try to keep everybody moving. So
Yeah, and I can cut down on some of my stuff.
So I'm going to just ask 2 questions, and then we're going to give these away. So, Dell, I'm going to let you pick.
First hand that goes
First
up
hand.
for a girl.
Okay.
Okay, you get to tell us.
You get to tell us who to
All
pick.
right, hustle.
Okay.
Go.
So, what is the down payment for an 80-10-10?
Lori,
5%.
keep your hands up.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, 8.
Pam.
10. Good job.
Yeah, who said it?
Sorry, Chief. I'm trying to see the whole room here. Help me out here, Greg. I don't want to make any enemies here. Okay, guys, ready, guys?
Okay.
Guys are gonna get their testosterone all wrapped up.
Okay, so how many days with the Shop and Lock program does your buyer have to
Patrick.
shop?
45.
Good job.
Good job.
The question, by the way, wasn't completely done when he raised his hand. All right, guys, I'm going to give you. Now I'm relieved. It cost me a whole night's sleep. I could have slept last night if I would have known that Ben was replaced and Children's Miracle Network was. Because if you guys looked at my video last night, there was supposed to be Jesus from the city of Scottsdale. Greg comes to me after the video was sent out and said, Jesus has been called in to testify. And I'm like, you're freaking kidding me. These guys are coming. And then Ben stepped in. So I could have got a whole night's sleep. So I'll be real fast. I have a client for 10 years. I sold him this house. He's going into a nursing home, right? So I'm like done, right? I've already had the photos done, right? But there was an incubation period because he was waiting for something to open up at Marvia, right? So he wasn't ready to list. So I went ahead and got the photos done. I got this guy, right? His name is Bob Roney. It's in Desert Ridge. You'll see it. It's on Fremont. Huh? He's on Fremont. All right. So Bob, during this incubation period, says, well, I'm not ready to list. My place isn't even done, right? And everybody's mailing him stuff. So a competitor sends him a flyer. He's like, oh, what the hell? I'll interview these people. 72hour.com, right? So you know how we're doing. So I'm letting you guys know in a listing presentation that it's extremely competitive, and I'm giving you this insight so you can add it to your listing presentation, which I already have done. So 72hour.com. So they put their house on the MLS as standby. What's that new thing called? Delay. Nobody can see the house. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the open house and no contracts till Monday. Right? Joe, you shared this with me. So Bob calls me up and says, Del, I got to see you again. I found out this new program. I'm leaning towards this other company. I'm like, Bob, you know me. We've done deals together. I'm honest, loyal, obedient, got you top dollar. I'm going to take care of you in the nursing home. Because even if, well, let me explain that. Even if he signs the contract, doesn't mean that Marvia is still going to have that place open. So I told him when we get the contract, I'll take you over to Marvia, make sure, I'm taking care of this guy, right? I'll take you over to Marvia, make sure the place is still, like I'm the guy, right? Like what the hell am I even doing here having to explain this to you again? So I'm like, Bob, settle down. 72hour.com's not a big deal. I can add it to your listing presentation. All right, number 2. Another month goes by. Because Bob's not ready, the place isn't available. Another 2 girls in my neighborhood that are gaining some market share, sends him a mailer, he sits down with them. Del, I got to see you again. I'm like, now I'm saying like fucking Bob, right? I'm done with this guy. I don't have the listing signed. Bob's an interesting guy. Greg knows him. Sit down with him again. Del, this guy, this Keller Williams guy, he's going to do a 3D imagery of the floor plan. And he said, if my house doesn't sell by the end of the year, no, he's going to do it for free. And I'm like, Bob, I'm honest. I'm loyal. You've worked with me before. I'm going to take care of you at the nursing home. Dale, this guy's put me on the fence. So what else am I going to do, right? I'm already more expensive, which he told me. He knows me, right? I feel the house. By the way, I have it on the market now. But it was an uphill battle. This was a deal that was done, right? So now I do have a clause in my contract that if I don't sell it by December 31st, it's free. It's free. Had to go up $15,000 in price, right? But I kept my commission. I was more expensive than the guy. But the reason why I'm sharing with you guys is this is a past client, right? And here I am begging now for the deal, right? Be ready out there. It's competitive. And so in this magazine again, it says right here, do you know who you're competing against? And do you know how you stack up against them? If you don't, you should. Right? So I'm always going to give you guys real stuff, real information that I feel you can use. All right, I'm not going to go as in depth with this as I was going to, but come to business planning, I'm going to show you a real case scenario. So Pam Bay, stand up. Pam Bay can pull these for you in a farm kit of name, number, and email addresses that are extremely accurate. So I'm going to give you a real life situation about how Pam Bay has helped me make over $75,000 in this subdivision. So it started with this house, right there. 1.185, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. I want to do validity here.
Come on.
Keep going. Del Rounds, right? Okay. Because of this listing, I called 10 neighbors. because of this listing. I called 10 neighbors and I asked them, hey, I have the house at the end of the cul-de-sac. Do you have any buyers? Do you have any buyers for this house? No, not really. Then you got to remind them, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, fraternity, workmate. Are you relocating anybody in or out, right? You got to jog their memory. Oh, yeah, we have a position available, but they can't afford that. Oh, great, what happened? That was, we can't afford that, right? So then you go into, we got a lot of action on this house. The best time to price your house is when I know the activity of what's going on this house. Would you like a market evaluation on your house? Number 2, would you like a market evaluation on your house? All right? Nah, I'm good. Would you ever update your wealth portfolio? You might want the prices increasing. Would you like to know what your net worth is based on your house right now, right? So trigger them a little bit, right? Number 3, any more rumblings in the neighborhood, like the Pernick family that are relocating, any more rumblings like that? And it's amazing what they'll tell you, and it's called the lean in. Wow. The neighbors next door are arguing a lot. She screams at him when he doesn't take the trash out. Right? Rumblings in the neighborhood. Number four, guys, and this is easy, is there any other real estate products that you own that you need some help with? Land, condos, investment properties. So if you can get all 4 of those in, it's a big victory. And guys, this is easy because they want to know, Greg, are we going to get this back up? Working on it. Okay, no worries. Because they want to know. They want to know what's going on. All right, long story short. Number 2. It led me to the guy right across the street that was a dentist. Right across the frickin' street that was a dentist. $940,000. $27,000 in commissions, right? Now remember, I'm calling the whole neighborhood talking about this listing, all right? Then, I wish Chris Usher was here. Then I call a guy named Michael McKinney. And by the way, this was a year ago. I call a guy named Michael McKinney. On 73rd Street, we're not going to get there. All right, on 73rd Street. Pending now, all from this one sale, pending now because I was calling, looking for a buyer for that house, pending now, and I've already put him into a new home. So this one listing that, by the way, already made me $30,000, led to the dentist across the street and this guy off that one listing. Off that one listing. And by the way, I already put him in a new home deal at $800. So that was 24. The neighbor across the street actually bought this house. It was a long story. So we did have to take a point off. So I got 18 there. So 24, 34, 42, 30. Anyway, you guys get the number. So let me tell you what we're launching. November 1st. November 1st, anytime you take a new listing, you're going to get the 10 neighbors' names, numbers, and email addresses. I'm going to give those to you. And I'm hoping that you guys will take advantage of this. And if you don't want to do it, hire somebody that will, or get your marketing partners involved. Jill, if I listed a house, and I'm not only talking about Chicago, and I told you that I'm going to give you the 3 escrows that potentially could come out of this, would you call 3 of these for me? All right. Would you do the same?
And 3 more.
Okay, and 3 more. Okay, all right. So listen, you could take this list and say, here's Jill, here's 3, here's 3. I'll call 3 and divide it up, right? But call it and brag about it. They want to know. And then here's what's even better. These lists that I'm going to give you are timeless, right? Because you can always circle back to them. And then guess what? When this house goes pending, you can call them again and say, hey, now I can really zero in on the value, right? We had 9 showings in 7 days, and I know what it's sold for, so let me look at your house, and I can zero it in within 1 or 2%, right? So this is a way that you can start a really strong ground game. November 1st, any listing that you take, any listing that you take, the following Monday, these 10 names and phone numbers are going to be in your inbox. We'll email them to you. All right, we'll make it simple. We'll email them to you. Any sale that you do, now if that listing turns into a sale, obviously you're not going to get the other 10 again, but you can call them and brag. But let's talk about buyer's agency. This is how a buyer agent can lean into a listing agent, right? Because we do have a lot of buyer's agents in here. When you sell a buyer, you can call and introduce your buyer to the 10 neighbors. So it'd be the same script, kind of. So you would call up and say, hey, Agata, I just sold your neighbor's house. The Johnsons are moving in. He works for American Express. They paid $380 for the house. Would you like an evaluation on your house? And then go right into the same thing on buyer's agency. We're going to launch that November 1st. The weekend person that works the weekends is going to run this program. So there'll be a little bit of lag time. I'm helping you guys try to move the ball. And so Jamie, this is where this came about. Jamie in the staff meeting yesterday called me out and just says, where are we going to start moving the ball? And this is it. Now, you guys after that got to do it. I can't do it for you. I'm willing to help you. These calls are easy. Are some going to hang up on you? Yes. So what? All right? Don't let them ruin your day. If you're going to let somebody ruin your day, let me ruin your day. If somebody at least you care about a little bit. Don't let somebody you don't know ruin your day. It's not worth it.
That's true.
Right? They mean, I want to be careful. But they don't mean much to anybody in this room. All right, so November 1st, yeah.
Timing on that is great because in coaching we always say 2019 starts October 1st of 2018. So great timing on
Can
that.
you start at October 1st?
All right, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best venue for it. I know what it's going to be. It's going to be LexisNexis. It's going to be the best venue for it. But I'm trying to do it faster at a better price with Vortex, and I haven't ran the study yet. So that's the reason I'm doing two kind of deals. And the nice thing about this is it's all in-house. I'm not dependent on anybody outside, where in the past, as you guys know, I've made some mistakes by depending on people outside of this building, and I know better than that, right? The only people that matter are the people in this boat. So it's going to be good. Yeah, Ann?
Do you have any scripts written out about these 4 steps?
Yeah, I'll write it for you. You bet. So with every time we send this, the attachment of the script will be with it. Yeah, and then come to business planning. Now, please don't waste this. If you're not going to do it, give it to somebody in this room and work out a split. But don't, please use it. If or call me and say, hey, Del, I've tried, it's not me, and I get that. But then partner with your left or your right of somebody that can do that, right? That will help move the ball. And I know it's hard because I tried this project with my team over a year ago, and I'm the only one that made it through the list, and this was the list I had. And I was the only one that did it. Mary, did you do it? I'm not picking on you, but did you? You did it honestly? You did the whole list?
I did.
All right. Now, we've done this in a slide dial. We've done this in a slide dial. Does everybody know what a slide dial is? We've done this in a slide dial, and the results are not the same. Am I right? So a slide dial, have you ever had your phone ring and it never rang? I'm sorry. It went right to voicemail. That was intentional. Do you guys know what that's called? It's called a slide dial. Or there's another name for it. Slide broadcast. So we've done this in a slide broadcast, and it's very generic. It goes like this. Hey, sorry I missed you. I'm the guy who sold 123 Easy Street, $225 a square foot. If you're interested in selling, call me. I have buyers. Where this, when you call, it's more specific because I'm saying, Robin, you and your husband Mike own the house next door to the Pernix. Do you know of anybody? It's more impactful because you can personalize it. And you can do this less than a half an hour a day. Jamie.
So some of the people, we started doing a Flagstaff as a group just to kind of motivate each other, and some people feel uncomfortable. So I had them pick So they could come from a third person, say, I work on, the shirts team, I'm Sophia,
Right.
we want to invite you, da-da-da. So if you want to take yourself out of the equation because you have fear, do a third person, and it actually works.
Right. So the idea of that is everybody has a hard time selling themselves, right? But I can sell everyone in this room with a stronger passion that I can sell myself. So, Sonny, one of the things you might want to do with Ninos is you call around Ninos and say, hey, this guy's good. He sold the house. I'm Ninos' marketing manager. And then for your list, Nino will call for you and say, hey, I'm Ninos. I'm Sonny's marketing manager, right? Carol, I think you and I and Deb have done that a little bit, haven't we? Because it's hard to call and take it personally that it's only about you. If you're calling about Toyota or GMC or a product that you've tried that you want your friend to use, it's more of a testimonial, right? Because if somebody else says you're great, it's stronger than you saying you're great. If you can get somebody else to say you're great, it's way better than you saying, hey, I'm great, right?
There was a time when I tried to be Delbert Rounds.
These bags are deserved. Anyway, listen, I appreciate you guys being here. We are running sales meetings November. Our last sales meeting of the year will be November because we don't have one in December due to the holiday party. 20 seconds, Paul Baker. Oh.
How about the boss, everybody? I wanted to double check on a really important SAR event that's coming up. It's a week from Friday, the 28th in the morning at the SAR building. It's Lawrence Yun. He is the NAR Chief Chief Economic Advisor. It's going to be some fantastic information. It's $20. Really important if you have time to get some great data from one of the lead economists in the National Association.
National Association of Realtors.
He is the chief economist for NAR. Going to speak to us.
In the Valley.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. All right, so listen, the first 10 that sign up with Paul on that, I'll pay for it.
Ready for some business cards?
Bring me the receipt that you paid for it and I reimburse you.
Doug, you gotta stop doing this stuff.
I mean, seriously, this is a big deal. Not everybody gets this guy.
Yeah, but hey, one caveat. When is that? October what?
It's a week from Friday, the 28th at 9 in the morning at SAR.
Okay, with one caveat. Those individuals that go to this, I want the forecast up here live in October. So I'm going to call on those 10 to give us economic forecast.
Bring me your cards.
Okay. All right, thanks, guys. Go get them.